You know those houses that just feel wrong? The ones where the walls seem to watch you, and every creak in the floorboards sounds like a whisper. That's the house I grew up in, 23 Elmwood Lane. It was an old Victorian thing, all crooked shutters and peeling wallpaper. My parents bought it cheap after the divorce, thinking a fresh start in a small town would fix everything. I was 8 years old, small for my age, with a head full of fears that no one took seriously. The dark was my biggest enemy back then. I'd lie in bed staring at the closet door, convinced something was inside, waiting for me to blink. Mom would say, "It's just your imagination, sweetie. Monsters aren't real." But Dad, he was gone by then, off with his new family, leaving me with nightmares of being forgotten. That's when the whispers started. It was our first night. The movers had left, and the house smelled like dust and old secrets. My room was upstairs, with this ugly floral wallpaper that looked like faces if you stared too long. I was unpacking my toys when I heard a soft scratch, like nails on wood, coming from behind the wall. I froze, heart pounding. "Hello," I whispered, pressing my ear against the paper. "Nothing, just the wind," I told myself. But that night, as I huddled under the covers with my flashlight, it came back. Not scratching this time, but a voice, faint, like a kid my age, giggling. "Come play," it said. "I'm lonely too." I bolted upright, shining the light around. The room was empty. Mom checked under the bed, in the closet. "Nothing, just the house settling," she said, tucking me in. But as she left, turning off the light, I saw it, a shadow on the wallpaper, twisting like a hand reaching out. I didn't sleep that night, and in the morning, I found a drawing on my floor. A crude stick figure of a boy, with the words "friend" scribbled below. My crayons were still in the box. Who drew it? Kids have wild imaginations, right? That's what everyone said when I told them about the voice. My teacher, Mrs. Harlow, patted my head and suggested I make up a friend to talk to. Lots of kids do it when they're lonely. Lonely. That word stung, like she knew about Dad leaving without a goodbye. So, I named him Elias, the boy behind the wall. At first, it was fun. I'd press my palm against the wallpaper after school, and he'd whisper back, "What's your name?" he'd ask. "Lily," I'd say. We'd play games guessing colors, telling riddles. He said he lived in the house long ago, before it was ours. "The walls keep me safe," he'd giggle. "From the dark things." "What dark things?" he'd never say. But his voice made the house feel less empty. Mom was always working late shifts at the diner, so Elias became my secret. One afternoon, while Mom napped downstairs, I decided to draw him. I sketched a boy with messy hair and big eyes, just like he described. As I colored, the scratching returned louder, insistent. "Let me out," he whispered. Peeled the paper. Just a little. My fingers trembled, but curiosity won. I picked at a loose corner of the wallpaper. It tore easily, revealing old plaster underneath, cracked and yellowed. And there, etched into the wall, was a tiny handprint, child-sized, like mine. I gasped, dropping the crayon. "Elias." The whisper came closer, right in my ear. "Closer now. But don't tell. They'll take me away." "Who?" I asked. Silence that night. My fear of the dark twisted into something new. Fear of what was hiding in the light. I dreamed of hands pushing through the walls, grabbing at my blankets. When I woke, sweating, the torn wallpaper was smooth again, fixed. But under my bed, I found a toy, a rusted tin soldier. It wasn't mine. Mom noticed me acting strange. "You okay, kiddo?" "Talking to yourself a lot." I lied, said it was homework. But Elias warned me, adults don't understand. They forget their fears. "What fears?" I pressed. "The ones that come at night," he said. "The ones that eat lonely kids." By week 3, Elias wasn't just a voice. He was everywhere. I'd find notes slipped under my door, hide and seek. In childish scroll, toys would move on their own, a doll's head turning to watch me. Mom blamed the cat we didn't have, but I knew Elias was getting stronger. "Because of you," he'd say. "Your fear feeds me." Feeds. That word chilled me. Childhood fears were supposed to fade, but mine were growing like shadows at dusk. I started avoiding my room, playing in the backyard instead. But even there, I'd hear faint echoes from the house fence. "Why won't you play?" he'd whine. One day I confided in my friend Sarah from school. We were jumping rope when I told her. She laughed. "Imaginary friends are for babies. Prove he's real. Prove it." That night, I did something stupid. I waited until midnight, flashlight in hand, and tore more wallpaper. Bigger this time, a flap big enough to peek through. Inside the wall, darkness, cobwebs, and ... eyes, glowing faintly, staring back. "Hello, Lily," Elias whispered, his voice clearer, almost solid. I screamed, dropping the light. Mom rushed in, furious. "What are you doing? This house is falling apart." She patched it with tape, but not before I saw scratches on the plaster names. Dozens of them. Kids' names, dates from years ago, all crossed out except one, Elias, 1952. The next day, I biked to the library, heart racing. The old librarian helped me dig through town records. Elmwood Lane had a history. Kids going missing back in the 50s. One boy, Elias Thorne, vanished from that very house. Foul play suspected, but never proven. "Some say the house ate him," she joked. "Ate him like my fears were eating me." That night, Elias was angry. "You told," he hissed through the walls. "Now the dark things know." "What dark things?" "The ones under your bed," he said. "They're coming for us both." I barricaded my door with toys, but as the clock struck midnight, the shadows in my room stirred, elongating, reaching, and from the closet, a low growl. Fear is a monster that grows in the quiet moments. By now, mine had teeth. Elias wasn't whispering anymore. He was demanding. "Let me in, Lily, or they'll take you instead." Them, the dark things. I'd see them now, shapes slithering under my bed, claws scraping the floorboards. Mom thought I had night terrors, dragged me to a doctor who prescribed pills. "Just anxiety from the move," he said. But pills don't stop real monsters. One stormy night, the power went out. Thunder rattled the windows. Rain lashed like fingers. I huddled in bed, flashlight dying. Elias's voice boomed from the walls. "Peel it all. Set me free." My hands shook as I tore at the wallpaper, strips coming away like skin. Beneath, more etchings, drawings of kids screaming, shadows devouring them, and a hole, a small, jagged opening into the wall's void. I peered in. A face stared back, pale, hollow-eyed, grinning. "Thank you," Elias said, his hand emerging, cold fingers wrapping around my wrist. I yanked back, but he held tight. "Your fear is delicious. It kept me alive all these years." Alive. He wasn't a ghost. He was something worse. A fear eater, born from forgotten kids like me. The house wasn't haunted. It was a trap, luring lonely children to feed him. I screamed for Mom, but she was downstairs, oblivious. Elias pulled. The wall pulsed like a living thing, the hole stretching wider, Elias's decayed arms hauling me an inch by inch. My skin tore against the jagged edges, splinters embedding deep, sending jolts of agony through me. Inside the void, I glimpsed horror's skeletal remains of children tangled in webs of shadow, their empty skulls grinning in eternal torment, eye sockets filled with writhing insects. The dark things surged upward, formless masses of inky blackness with glowing red slits for eyes, their tendrils whipping like serpents, slicing shallow cuts across my legs. Blood pooled on the floor, mixing with dust into a sticky sludge. "Feed us," they hissed in unison, voices like grinding bones. "Your terror is our feast." Elias's face was inches from mine now, his breath a putrid gale that made me gag. "You'll like it here, Lily. No more abandonment, just endless play in the dark." His tongue, long and forked, flicked out, tasting the air, brushing my cheek with slime that burned like venom. I thrashed wildly, my free hand fumbling across the floor until it closed on the rusted tin soldier. With a primal scream, I drove its sharp bayonet into his eye socket. Black ichor sprayed, sizzling on my skin like acid. He roared a sound that shook the house, loosening plaster that rained down like snow. His grip faltered, and I wrenched free, collapsing backward as the tendrils recoiled, screeching. But they weren't done. The shadows reformed, lunging again, wrapping around my throat, squeezing until spots danced in my vision. My fears amplified in my mind. Visions of Dad laughing with his new kids, Mom packing to leave me behind, alone forever. No, I choked out, clawing at the tendrils, nails breaking as I tore at their gelatinous flesh. In desperation, I grabbed a loose strip of wallpaper and yanked, collapsing more of the wall. Bones tumbled out, tiny ribs, femurs etched with desperate scratches. The diary fell too, pages fluttering open to Elias's last words. The fears ate me. Now I eat them. Mom's footsteps thundered up the stairs. She burst in, eyes wide at the carnage, the blood, the hole, the writhing shadows. Lily, she grabbed a lamp, smashing it against the wall, the bulb exploding in sparks that ignited the old paper. Flames licked up, illuminating Elias's full form, a desiccated corpse, animated by darkness, limbs contorting unnaturally. He lunged, but the fire spread, consuming the shadows, their shrieks piercing like nails on chalk. Mom pulled me out as the room filled with smoke, the house groaning like a dying beast. We fled into the storm, watching from the street as flames engulfed 23 Elmwood Lane, Elias's final wail echoing into the night. Years later, as an adult, I tell myself it was over. But childhood fears don't die, they lurk. Sometimes, in mirrors, I see a shadow behind me, a handprint on the wall, and I wonder, did we burn him or set him free?